Oh, you went all proper with it.
I'm right into it. I'm ready
Yeah.
to fight for freedom.
You know, when I set up this live stream, I forgot all about the G.I. Joe stuff.
Oh,
In fact, like I said before we got on, I invited you, and then I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch! I gotta go grab all that G.I. Joe."
this is probably the first time that I've ever had occasion to say this, but I have had G.I. Joe squarely on the brain almost exclusively for like the past 4 or 5 days. It's been a whirlwind.
It's crazy what a good figure can do, or a good set of figures.
Good set of figures, just new and crazy stuff in general. It's like I got classified. I got some reaction stuff. They're worlds away in what they're trying to be, and yet everything is just so right with all of it. It feels like, I don't know. It's crazy.
It's all right in the world. In fact, I'm on such a G.I. Joe high this week. This morning, I got my breakfast. I sat down in front of the computer, and I noticed that G.I. Joe Resolute was on there.
I thought you were going to go right into the intro for the classic cartoon.
No, no, I do need to go
My
back.
kids are going to know that song before too long.
He'll fight for freedom. But Resolute is good too. If you have an hour, yeah, give that a chance. It does a great job of, even if you don't know the characters, you get a feel for them. I guess there was originally 5-minute clips on Cartoon Network or somewhere. Adult Swim.
Okay. I think I seem to remember when they were like advertising it, but I didn't have any G.I. Joe anything at that time, I guess. So
yeah. I was like, I'm not buying any 3 3/4 inch stuff. What?
And now things have changed.
It is. G.I. Joe is my steak and eggs. That's right.
Well, they've been quite delicious as of late then, can we say that? But you know, I know we're going to talk about some new figures that, you know, both of us got, and then some that, you know, I may have gotten a little bit early too, but I still feel like some of the ones that we're going to be talking about is still a little early in general, simply because I know I wasn't expecting to get this latest round of classified so damn early, especially with the Bat and the Alley Viper just like a week before.
Yeah. And I know the Bats some people have had the Bat and Viper for a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just got mine last week too. And I went through Amazon. I've got a few pre-orders, but Amazon showed up.
Yep. And it's funny because Bat and Alley Viper, even though I would not begrudge anyone for considering them to be 2022 figures, because I think most people are probably getting them this year. Last week, like the 30th of December, I think is when those arrived. So when I'm counting my figures, it's like, for me, technically those hit in 2021.
Oh, no. You know what? I can't remember what exact day. I know I shot the review, and then including the intro and everything, and then I got the newer figures the next day. So I actually stole the intro from the Bats and Viper for the Spirit, Storm Shadow, and Cobra Officer.
Yeah.
So it was quick. I'm counting them as 2022.
Yeah, and that's good, and that's perfectly fine too. I think I'm like doing the Bat a little bit of a favor, because had he arrived, or if I would have counted him as 2022, it's like I would have kicked off the year. I think this Bat's my favorite figure of the year, because we just went through that for 2021, and I decided I was thinking about that, and especially with getting Spirit, which we'll get in here in a minute. But this is really nerdy, but I'm gonna keep like a calendar or a pipe diagram or something that when I get a new figure that I consider to be the best figure that I've gotten so far this year, it's like I'm going to mark it down and he's going to like hold that day until he's replaced. Because I think a lot of the times when I'm putting together like my best of the year list, all this stuff that arrives early in the year, it's like you just forget about it or it doesn't get counted. So
or you don't remember it was that year.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like when you get a figure like the third day of the year that could very well be the best figure that you get all year long. It's funny. So I'm going to start. I've made a calendar for it so I can like diagram it out to see what it looks like at the end of the year. And because it's like, it'll be interesting to see where I land for my favorite figure of the year, but also like how long an individual figure like held that throughout the year until he was, or, you know, it was beaten out. So it's crazy to be able to say, all right, January 3rd, I got a figure and it's going to be like my favorite figure of the year right now until he gets beaten, but it's going to be tough to do already.
That sounds way too technical for me. As you're saying it, I'm going, man, that's a great idea. I may do that. And then a week later, I'll either lose that file or piece of paper or whatever I'm writing on it and then forget to do it for 6 months.
It's like stupid, nerdy project management crap coming into like the hobby here. So I don't know. But
Hulk Smash, yeah, I there was a deal on GameStop or something, and I got in on that. And then they went to awaiting product. And I think when it goes to awaiting product, you can't cancel that order. Oh. So they took the money, or well, they put a hold, and then it may have come back, but yeah, I'm still waiting on my Bat and Alley Viper from them too.
I jumped at one of each of those from Amazon when I saw them in stock, and because I think I texted you about it. But I've got a couple more of each one of them through Dorkside, and I'm just gonna wait on those until they get here now. So
well, I think I've got an Entertainment Earth case too. That for well, it's only like 3 and 2, and then a Gung Ho, I think, or something, and I can always use another Gung Ho.
Gotcha.
Resolute, more adult mini. The episodes make up a 1 hour movie. In fact, I got 45 minutes in and I thought, wait, when did this originally air? And is there more? I thought this was a series, and it was a series, but it goes together so well as a movie, a 1 hour movie, that you don't even notice cuts or where it may have been separate episodes or anything. I'm trying to talk you into watching Resolute because I like this.
Well, now I might have to. What's the animation style for that? Is it?
It's definitely not old school. It's got kind of an anime feel to it, but not as much as, because I also jumped into Renegades for a second, and then I realized, oh, this is A-Team with G.I. Joe. It's like a small team that gets kind of booted from Joe's, and they're trying to redeem themselves.
Oh, okay. That looks fine. I wasn't sure if it was like.
But Resolute's a big old here's Cobra Commander trying to take over the world type situation.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to be like burgeoning early, like when they were trying to do more like CG 3D animation on a budget that a lot of those cartoons suffer from. But no, that looks good.
Based on Resolute designs. And the cool thing about Resolute design, they weren't too far off, but they were definitely recognizable.
Yeah, I was just looking at Duke, and I mean, he's got 2000 hair, but other than that.
You see the rumors, target numbers floating around for a Tiger Force Duke?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I haven't dug too deep into that yet.
That's cool. I'll tell you, that would be interesting. Be interesting to see what he looks like, if it's like the same head sculpt or some new pieces, and maybe be able to Frankenstein like the perfect Duke together with that.
I'm pretty sure. You got to think it's just going to be it's going to be Duke in Tiger Force colors.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe with a helmet, right?
Maybe with a helmet. Oh, yeah, if he comes with a bike, maybe they'll make the helmet.
Safety first, you know?
And now you know.
Yeah, but all right. So I watched your video, obviously, of the 3 new classified figures, though, because I think I had mine like the day before you got yours, and it was like I don't have time to do this until Monday, but I decided to take my time with
Oh,
these.
slow
So
burn. Ooh,
I
yeah.
know, and it's because the one that I opened first, I'm enjoying so much, but I haven't opened the Officer or Storm Shadow yet, simply because I want to allow. I mean, I've got most of this one right already, but I want to
But
allow the time to enjoy them.
it's an
As
upgrade though. You're gonna like it more than the Troopers.
really
Hmm.
well. I want to allow them the same amount of time to enjoy them as much as I have enjoyed this figure, because recency bias or whatever you can call that out. But this is my favorite classified figure so far, and I don't think it's even close because I absolutely love Spirit.
I think when I'm in a text group with Dis Thunder and Prodigy, right?
Yeah.
Big GI Joe guys, and I got those. And Prodigy said, "I hate you," and Dis Thunder says, "Best GI Joe figure, best classified figure." I'm calling it now before he even got it.
Yeah. Well, I would agree with that, because not only is it just a great overall figure, and to me, not only they also did a really great job of updating the character, and doing it in a way that I think is it plays into the overall part of the line too. Is that this is the exact type of character update, design wise or whatever else, that I think people have been screaming for, wanting for classified from the very beginning, and I think they just nailed it all with him.
All the classic elements are there.
Yeah.
It's just an updated aesthetic.
Yeah.
It feels like what he would wear in a modern cartoon.
Yeah. And it's easy to get overshadowed by some of the design elements and the fact that it comes with freedom or whatnot, but the portrait, the face sculpt on this is, I mean, it tells, it's like if you didn't know anything about this character, you could tell everything that you need to know about this character just by looking at his face. It's pretty incredible, I think.
Airtight, Shipwreck, Stalker, and Torpedo. I mean, we can wish list all day because I want them all. But with on your Spirit, I didn't notice it until I got into edits because of how close I had the camera on the head and stuff. But on the side with the ear, his right side, is the bandana slightly raised on yours? Slightly. Can you see like the cut in? I know. Grab the microscope, the magnifying glass.
I don't think so. On the other side
Okay.
where the hair is coming down, I need to go in and do a little paint fill on mine, but I'm not sure
Really?
if I'm seeing what you.
Okay. Because what about his sideburn? Can you see a little gap or where the cutout on the face is under the sideburn? I'm really
Maybe like
nitpicking.
where the hair starts to swoop back into the sideburn, like right underneath that. Maybe I can see a little bit of that
Okay.
there.
Okay. I was just wondering if that's a common thing or if it's like because it's obviously a separate piece. And I didn't know if it was a misalignment. It's not noticeable. In fact, I didn't notice it until I got 1080p right up in my face, big screen.
Well, now I'm gonna have to go back and look at, because I took profile pictures of him from both sides and go back to, because when I can't really see something on a figure now, I take a picture of it and then look at it on the computer in raw format, right? So I'll take a look at it, but it's even with you saying something about it, I don't think I'm seeing it like at real scale, right?
Oh, no. In person, I look at it and think, well, it's not like that. And then, of course, I'm old and I get closer and it gets fuzzier. But in normal setting on the shelf, it's not noticeable. But I just wanted to know. I was just because I haven't seen a lot of pictures.
Right. Yeah, because Dorkside coming through on this for sure. Yeah, as far as Spirit the figure goes, I mean, he has the same hip issues with that shock oil solves that everybody else has, but
wait, was it
other than that?
It was Spirit that I did have that because it reuses Duke's hips, and for some reason, Duke's hips are the worst offender when it comes to that.
Yeah. So aside from that, which you're going to get with reuse or whatever, it's like On the figure itself, I can't find or think of anything else that I would even be able to call out as like, I wish this was different or whatnot. This is so well done. This is the type of figure that like reinvigorates you. Not that my interest was falling off of classifieds at all, but if you're not into a line or you're kind of flat, this is the type of figure that's like, oh hell yeah, and then you're excited for everybody.
Right. It comes back around because it makes you think, well, it's been a while since I've had a new G.I. Joe figure when it hasn't really been that long.
Right.
But it's that excitement.
Well, you say that, and even having gotten, the Bat and the Viper, to me, getting a unique character and not an army builder even feels like a completely different experience when you get something new. But I don't know why that is.
At the same time, I love the army builders too, and we need Joe army builders.
Yeah.
Josh, you got to think they're going to make Law and Order if they want to continue the deluxe line or the animal series, I guess.
I have to say that I think that the way Crocmaster has been received and how he's ultimately probably going to turn out, because they've been turning out so well, I can't see them moving away from those like animal sidekick or whatever else is anytime soon.
Plus they still have Junkyard and Mutt, and did Dan mention a minute ago? There's Law and Order, I guess, is the one I'm thinking of. I thought there was another dude and dog pair.
Dusty was another one that I actually remember from when I was a kid. My cousin had him, and for some reason I thought the cloth hanging down out of his helmet, I thought that was a really cool thing. Well, so I remember Dusty really well too.
I think Dusty's on the leak list right now.
That's cool.
You just want Polly. That's right.
I do.
I want Shipwreck in a deluxe set and Polly in the middle of a big plastic emptiness off to the side.
And I'm gonna need 2 of those so I can give the eventual Chuckles a parrot too.
Just to fulfill your childhood nostalgia.
Well, yeah, because I'm gonna, I'll have one for my normal display and then to be by the childhood figure in the same configuration.
No, I'm sure Shipwreck could regular package Polly to the side. If you can get a big old eagle, you can get a parrot. Which reminds me, I know we talked about it before. I didn't catch it during the review, but this shirt has Shipwreck written all over it.
Yeah,
with the new sleeves and everything.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: with Shipwreck, do you want nice straight pants on him, or do you want those updated?
Oh, don't get me to talking about naval uniforms, and because I don't know. I'd like
the ironed creases and whatnot. Yeah.
I'd like to see that, but at the same time, I'm not sure.
I think you'll definitely see that on the eventual Ultimates figure, right?
Yeah,
because I mean he was in the cartoon a lot, so I mean they're going to get to him in that line too.
Yeah,
but, I don't know those. I don't know if those would fit in with the classified aesthetic.
I was never a big Chuckles guy either, but Veeb's excitement over Chuckles, and then his bio on GIJoe.com lists him as coming from Little Rock, Arkansas. So I got to root for the hometown boy.
Yeah, and out of the line, that's pretty. That's a lot. Joe's and jorts.
All John Cena. Wide Scope and Lamont. Dusty and Sandstorm. Was Sandstorm... I saw somebody comment, Sandstorm or Dusty had a coyote? Yeah, no, you're joking.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, and I think maybe this afternoon, tonight, because now that I'm done, because I took a bunch of pictures and shared some thoughts about Spirit for the front page tomorrow, and I'm done with that now. And now that I'm done, I put him on the shelf because I don't need to like have him in hand to, and so once he's on the shelf, then I think it's gonna be Storm Shadow's turn tonight.
He's good.
Yeah.
But don't sleep on the officer either. I almost want a couple more. I guess for more.
Well, I certainly have enough troopers to support having a couple of officers.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's going to become a middle management nightmare having to handle PTO and call in sick days with all the troopers that I have. So
Naugahyde and wild boar. I'm down for a wild boar too.
I want him to see. I want to see him do the fridge. I think they can make that happen, right?
You know, where they hold Fanboy Expo. Oh, I know where they hold Fanboy Expo. It's in Knoxville, Tennessee.
That's where the wig sphere is. But
hello, Basil.
But just we're talking about all these different characters, and whether you have attachments to them because they're on your wish list or on somebody else's. I think my point with Spirit is that if they all end up having the same treatment as him, every single one of them are going to be bleeping incredible because yeah, I know, right? No design is like cheated or overlooked as it's like, this isn't the most exciting thing or whatever else. It's all, they're just given their due and respect. And it's an amazing journey in the short amount of time that we've had classified. I think from where it started to where it is right now, where it was like everybody was kind of hot and cold or not really into it. And now it's like, I don't know how you don't love these.
In fact, I was talking to somebody the other day and they mentioned that the turnaround that they've had recently, you know, with the, you know, let's send this to Target instead of the main line, and the distribution issues and the design and everything. That was something that was enacted like shortly after that it debuted. But the way toy lines are planned, they had to get through all this stuff first before the change actually comes about, which is what, a year and a half, almost 2 years later.
Well, and when you look at it in hindsight, gives you a better appreciation for it, right? Because knowing the people now and seeing who really run the show at Hasbro with this line, it's like, I don't think they were necessarily thinking that, let's make sure that we put this main character only at Target and make it impossible to get in a line that we have going. I think looking at it now, it was one of those things that is like, yes, it's a house brand and you're going to put everything behind it in order to make it successful. But it was a cold start at the beginning and there was no telling whatsoever if this line was going to last past the first year at that point. So kind of framing it that way. And then they're able to make the correction to, well, now this is what everybody expects to be exclusive and they're not so difficult to order. It really is I hate to say this, it's like a testament to like what they have been able to do so quickly and do it right so well. I've just got a new respect for the way that they're handling things, and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
And like I said, it seems quick, but it wasn't a quick. It was like we need to do this at some point.
Right.
Start now. It'll come out later. Because you remember being at Toy Fair, was it 2020? And looking at the G.I. Joe stuff.
Yep. It was the last one. So yep.
And yeah, it was just like as you went out the door from Hasbro.
Because it was like the three people that were there representing the line standing there, and it was just those initial first figures. So it was all the like heavy hitters, and I got laughed at for saying I wanted chuckles. But you're right. It really was like a stand like this big,
a shelf. Remember? Well, it was a shelf on the wall, and they were standing there.
Yeah,
and it was on the exit to go out and back up the stairs.
Yeah.
And I think they were still in shock because it was that weekend that Snake Eyes went up for order, the pictures got out, and I'm sure the online, I don't know if they had, they were expecting the backlash that they got.
Yeah.
But it's also online.
But it's, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
just working their way through that. It's pretty incredible with
Working
what we're getting.
Way back to you, Joe. Has G.I. Joe been successful in every skill so far? I don't know.
I mean, it started out 1/6, and I would say that was awfully successful, right?
Oh, way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, it's 3 3/4. And then I think the 3 3/4 was a little popular for their.
Did they have a 3 3/4 period with Joe's? Yeah,
for a couple of years there.
And now 112, and I'm just going to assume that 110 is going to be successful as well once the cartoon ultimates start hitting. So,
well, and then Sigma was somewhere in there between, and then Sideshow had their 12-inch line, I think,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I remember seeing, I think it was at the Sideshow Museum at San Diego. I always walked through. I always looked at those Joes thinking, man, those are badass.
Yeah.
Can't have them.
Yeah. I appreciate the Sideshow / Hot Toys Museum because it allows me, with the exception of like 3 figures, I've never really had a desire to buy any of that stuff, but it lets me appreciate it.
Right.
Oh, God,
It's like,
Mezco.
yeah, Mezco, but that's 1/12 too, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the name of the line, right?
Yeah. It's probably going to be slightly larger, like actual Mezco, but
Yeah. Yeah. When what Destro's first for that? Do we know? Yeah, I mean, I know that's a funny question to ask about Mezco stuff, but
oh, what it should be here in the next couple months. I was looking through pre-orders the other day. Let me dig.
because I think what I've got for Mezco, because I didn't jump into Joe's for Mezco. I've got like Death Dealer and hopefully Fantastic Four. They still haven't put Dick Tracy up for pre-order yet. I don't know why, but I just don't have a whole lot going as far as pre-orders with them go. So I tend to not keep track well.
And let's see. I went back in your order history. They don't tell you what the order is for. It's just the number. Hello, 1989 Batman. I will see you someday.
Oh yeah, that's that we're 2 years out on that, right?
Yep, January 2020. Mr. Freeze, Morbius, Destro. Order date 3/17. Ships June to August. So they've moved it. Well, I don't know if they've moved it. I can't remember the original release date, but it's
June
late
to
summer.
August. Oh, okay.
Or summer, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, and that, I mean, it's I understand it's tough when a line releases one at a time like that.
Yeah, which is it's such a slow burn.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Roadblock says May to July, so it may show up first.
Oh. Huh. There's probably some Roadblock seems a little more straightforward in design than Destro, especially when you're dealing with cloth and stuff like that. It's like that deep V, man, with cloth.
Oh, and they showed Firefly too, and they haven't put up for pre-order yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to click every order. I just open new tab through all the unshipped orders.
Well, and that's tough for me because sometimes you order stuff for me with Mezco too. So it's like I can't. It's like, oh, I don't see it in my order history, and I've got to like text you about it, and it's
just like you order my Super 7 stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost like okay, when we meet up, I've got toys for you, you've got toys for me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a turtle party for you. But
on the back of the new packaging.
I know that we were a little early with Dorkside shipping new
I'm not
stuff
sure.
out. But what's Globulus? Oh, Globulus from Cobra. Is that a Cobra Law thing?
I think that's just. Oh wait, what silhouette are you talking about? Because it looks like Snake Eyes in front of the Arashikage symbol,
Yeah.
but then Snake Eyes right above them too. Hmm.
Hmm.
I like how they've laid out the new artwork on the back, but it also seems a bit high school picture day.
I'll
Everyone's just kind of standing, taking their driver's license picture.
Well, and it kind of falls into that same thing too, because I think I was talking about this the other day, is that it's the last 25 years or so of movie posters have been absolutely horrible compared to the way that they used to be. It's all like floating heads now for movie
Mhm.
posters. And this kind of takes its cues from that, right? So it's like it's fun to see the characters, but it's art mashed up a little bit, and it's just kind of like, eh.
I mean, it's a good. Well, what am I trying to say? It's good to show what they've released so far, and
It's a
now
good
everything matches what we've seen.
it's a good thing for a line now that we're at where this is probably the thing that I would bitch about the most with it.
No kidding. This is kind of an action-oriented checklist type
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
But they did put Gung Ho in turquoise.
I'm
So I
ready
don't
for
know.
that repaint, right? I mean,
Yeah, maybe that's Walmart line or something.
maybe with the new head sculpt, maybe.
Mm, well, I don't know. It doesn't change much on that.
Because he needs, because he's the only one that really sticks out to me. It's
Shut
like
up, Ryan.
I, I've got a celebrity on my shelf in my collection. It's like Brad Pitt Angel from the
Mm-hmm.
Toy Biz Marvel Legends days. It's like I'd like to have him a little less descriptive and with the corrected cover. Is
Yeah,
cover correct? Yeah.
I think so. Don't get me
Yeah.
lying. But when it comes down to it, on this, this is the trash. That's get out of here.
But we got some of this stuff early, but like I mentioned, then on like the other side of the extreme. So I
What
want
you
to
got
talk
there?
about this for a second
Oh
because
wait, yeah.
this is incredible. And I haven't opened it yet, and I'm not going to open it right now, and I'm not going to review it until I have snow again, because I can't with good conscience like take pictures of this thing without having snow around to take pictures of it in. But I got to talk to Brian Flynn about this a little bit a few months ago, right before or right after we recorded um, a FwooshCast, and seeing this actually happen, because he was so, and I'm sure he is still so excited about this, and getting this Arctic rescue vehicle with the crazy ass, blind woodsman guy on here. I can't believe that that this is something that it exists and exists so quickly, because even if I wasn't a GI Joe fan now, this is awesome that this thing exists, I think.
I saw wave one of reaction in Books a Million yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and it's the same situation. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the scale, the articulation scheme, or all that, but I was alive during the whole first round, and they're even less articulated than the Joes back then. But I
Right.
lived through, early Star Wars and other toy lines that just had the 5 points or whatever, or well, swivels all over the place. But it's the card back and the nostalgia and just the presentation that almost same thing with the Transformers reaction. I don't know if I saw Soundwave again yesterday, and I was this close.
Mhm.
Ooh, and I didn't. But I'm the same with Joe's. But that set and just what it represents, and that early GI Joe cartoon, that's
Yeah.
childhood right there.
It's crazy. And it I would take a pause probably, because I mean the presentation of these is so great, and I think that it's some of the best reaction, quote unquote, likeness that they've done on this series too. But it's probably not the type of thing that I would go out and get, simply because I'm going to be getting the larger and more articulated versions of these. You know, obviously with Ultimates, but I don't think this is a thing that's going to exist at that scale. And having a glow in the dark Snake Eyes figure that glows red, because it does glow red.
Yeah.
In the dark with.
Oh, you're gonna have to have a power outage to
yeah,
get.
Exactly. I just, this is hilarious in the best ways, and I think it's just so funny. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to open it simply because I want to take it outside and play with it when I get snow again, which I didn't think, you know, I'd be fighting for snow in January. But
I mean, just a week ago. That's why we didn't do FwooshCast last Sunday, was because
I was stuck.
Snow, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I call it nostalgia tug because it's there.
Yeah.
And you kind of want it, but then afterwards, I don't know. If I bought it, I wouldn't open it. It would just be hanging on the wall. Like other nostalgia tugs from other companies that I've bought, like the retro carded Star Wars or the Marvel stuff. Marvel, I'm more picky because that came later.
Mm-hmm.
But the Star Wars stuff, the G.I. Joe cards, oh yeah, and then you feel kind of dirty afterwards. It's like, I'm not playing with the toy, I'm just displaying a package. But then you're always down for another nostalgia tug.
Right. And again, with the series 2 reaction, it's like some of them, you know, you get that some more heavy hitters with Storm Shadow, Duke, and Lady J and Blood, obviously. And those are what I think people kind of expect to get. And I've got to say that Lady J and Duke do a really nice job, like I said, with the likeness. But when I was opening the box, and this is like the Arctic rescue vehicle, this is the one that jumped out to me as my favorite.
Oh, because, well,
again, I'm not sure if you get this at the larger, more expensive scale. I mean, maybe, but Game Master, drone, clown face, G.I. Joe action figure. I mean, that's pretty great, right?
Yeah. And plus, oh man, it's hard. Does the back show all of them? I saw them in person, but I don't remember seeing a Snake Eyes, which would obviously probably be the one that goes first. But I remember the Troopers.
Yeah, because the original Snake Eyes, so he was in Series 1. So, but you know, getting these, it makes it difficult because, like I said, for most of them, I'm going to have the Ultimates versions that I'm going to get out and I'm going to play with and put on the shelf. It's like the art and the cards on these make them really difficult to open too at the same time.
So what's your eventual plan? You going to crack?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm thinking that maybe like the crazier ones, like, because I mean, it's got like Bazooka in his winter, like, Arctic gear. I'm thinking maybe for the crazier ones, I'm gonna probably keep them carded.
But the more iconic.
But maybe open the more iconic ones, or maybe the inverse of that. Because you know they did the generic sailor on here as well. Maybe I'll keep the more iconic characters carded instead, because I'll have open versions of those via Ultimates. I don't know. But for a line that I don't have a nostalgia pull to and a scale that is not my preferred, there's just something going on with some of these figures that it's like, I'm glad they're treating them this way and not just as you would expect, right? With the character,
as you would expect, as in
like character selection.
Oh, just going through straight forward. The originals, and then They're kind of jumping around, but they seem to do that with a bunch of their lines, right? I'm noticing now, again, I know nothing about Simpsons, but them not going for the directly to the straight to the family right off the bat. You think that's a long-term plan, or?
Well, you know, I can see people who are really just want, because I mean, it's Ultimates figures, right? They're not cheap. I can see people wanting that main iconography for the family to collect as is, but the way that I'm kind of looking at this now, and I think the way that they are handling it is that it's kind of like inverse Turtles, in that I think the Simpsons, with some of the characters that they're doing, like Krusty, and I mean, I think this latest series too, Bartman probably wouldn't have been my first pick, but everybody else in that series, Duffman, Krusty, and Scorpio, is incredible. I think the line has a lot of chatter and popularity around it right now, and kind of doing the inverse of that is that let some of these crazy variations happen first when it's fresh and it's new and whatnot, and then give it another bump once like series 5 or 6 or whatever rolls around, and then start putting out like the standard versions of the family. I'm positive it's going to happen. I just think it's a line planning decision that they made, and if you don't like it, I understand that, but I don't know, I'm cool with it right now.
Well, I'm sure they made Krusty in the old line that you have displayed right right over there.
Right over there.
Yeah. But did they make Scorpio?
Yep. Yeah,
okay.
They did. And he's actually my favorite Simpsons character. But what's cool about it is that the old Playmates one's got his purple jacket on, and the new one, the Ultimates one, doesn't, because they gave him his flamethrower, and he doesn't have his coat on when he has his flamethrower. So actually getting this version of him is great, because I already have a different version of him, and now I'm going to have 2 Hank Scorpio figures, which when that episode came on, never in my life would I have ever imagined that would happen. But
I'm also not picturing the size and scale of those older figures. Is there going to be compatibility, you think?
No,
it's going to be bigger, huh?
The World of Springfield is essentially 5-inch vintage Ninja Turtle scale.
Oh, really? They're that small? Well, not that small, but they're smaller.
The scale itself, maybe it's bigger than like Ninja Turtle scale is, but they're about the same size, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Would you ever be down to build a Gundam model kit just for fun? I dig building model kits, but I like having something. The finished product has to be something that I'm into if I'm going to put that much work into it. You know what I mean?
I have a 1/12 scale 1970s Fiat model kit that I've been wanting to put together for my Lupin the Third figures for like 2 years, that I still haven't touched yet, because I just don't have the time to do it. And it's a real model kit. It's not like one of those snap together ones, so it's kind of intimidating to me. So I'm kind of with you on that. It's like, I really need to have a care and a reason to put it together, because I fight so hard just having the time to do it anyway, right?
Yeah, the Star Wars stuff, the Marvel stuff, I've put together. Well, I didn't like the Toy Story stuff too much, because I don't have any kind of Toy Story representation in my collection. So I thought these model kits could be my Buzz and Woody. And I built Woody, and I don't care for the figure, so I never built Buzz. But again, the figure didn't come out how I wanted, so Buzz is still in a stack in there. But the Star Wars stuff is compatible with what I got. I said Marvel. Is there a Marvel kit? I thought there was an Iron Man, maybe.
They're doing like G.I. Joe kits too, aren't they?
Yeah, but there's kind of an odd 5-inch. I can't remember the exact size they advertised them at, but they seem smaller than classified.
Oh, gotcha. Because those are kind of updated and unique designs too, right?
Dragon Ball. Oh, well, yeah. Well, at the time, Storm Shadow, that was this is our way to get a classic looking Storm Shadow. And now that Classified has done that, man. Yeah, and I was doing the Dragon Ball models because I don't do SH Figure Arts or anything, so I wanted something Dragon Ball. Too small for you. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Jump up, and get down. I saw that earlier, and I wanted to reply, and I almost forgot. But yeah, model kits are fun, but me.
Yeah, I have some undone Star Wars ones too, because I put some of those together for sure because they were straightforward. But then I ended up stealing the Kylo Ren hood off of the model kit and putting it on the Bandai figure because the shape of it was so much better. And when I started cannibalizing them, I was just kind of like,
because once you pull well, you can still have the model kit without the hood, I guess.
Yeah.
And I like the model kit. I still need to build a couple of the Scarif troopers to do the different ranks that we didn't get. Which one did we not get in classified? Or not Black Series. Got G.I. Joe on the brain. my toast and jam ran over in my bread and butter there for a second. I don't know Dragon Ball. I only know up to the one of the sagas. the big green dude. Yeah, see, I don't know Dragon Ball. What was the other thing? Oh, but yeah, like I was saying, don't sleep on the officer. Just the change in the web gear and how it allows you so much more movement in the torso. That's double better.
Double better.
Cell Saga, you got it. Boom.
Now I'm looking. Did they all come with the same? Are the weapons new?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay.
The belt is new. The boots are new. The forearms are new. Torso's new. Head's new.
Oh, and he's even got the repainted rank thing from the Target. Because I somehow ended up with one of those. Two of those? So maybe he's like director, and then the other two are managers, and then they got their guys. I don't know. I'm trying to talk myself out of army building this dude.
Almost want to, because I also didn't notice in the review until I got in to edits. My Cobra logo on the chest is a bit scratched on his left side. The inside the Cobra, the little lines inside the Cobra logo.
Yeah. I think mine are looking okay, but I don't know. We'll see.
Again, through the camera lens.
Yeah, exactly. I need to go take a picture of it or use my phone camera to zoom in on it.
Champa isn't buff enough, so yeah, I'll have to find something different.
Yeah, I think mine looks okay looking at it through this.
Oh, are you actually magnifying it?
Oh, isn't that terrible? Terrible.
No, but they also changed the head to look more classic, and I don't know, little touches on top of the new stuff too. It's just colors, everything works so well.
Yeah. I stop trying to talk me into buying more of those.
What?
I see what you're doing here.
I love how I decided to cut back on collecting to save money this year, only for classified Black Series and Marvel Legends to gang up on my wallet.
I'm still waiting on the new Black Series figure.
Oh, it's good for the most part.
Yeah, I really, now that the show started, I really want my Fennec.
Yelp, and I want the new look for Boba Fett that's past the couple of Boba Fetts we have coming in Black Series.
I don't know, man. I don't see them making any more Boba Fetts.
Terrible character.
I want the Wookiee.
Oh, dude, don't even. I'm trying. Yeah, it's hard not to talk about spoilers when you're that excited about possible figure.
Yeah,
offerings.
So I'll shut up about it now because it hasn't been a week yet, and usually with shows I give it a week.
Yeah. I'm just hoping shows back up or something. it would have been awesome to
Got
do
it.
that like the Heavy Mandalorian last year, where
Yeah.
appeared on the episode, boom, here's the pre-order.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
it a couple of was it available almost? It showed up pretty fast after that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Was that last year?
Uh,
No, that was season 1, wasn't it?
year
It was
before.
2
Yeah,
years.
it was the year
Mhm.
before. But who cares? It's all running together anyway. So
Do, 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 do.
so, yeah, but I don't know. I I've been down on Star Wars stuff because of the whole Rancor thing for a while. I'm ready to be jazzed about it again, and the show's done that, so now I want some new figures.
Yeah, but I seem to do that with any kind of, hey, there's new content out there. I need Hawkeye, and I need new Black Widow, and I need this character from here, and I need more little dickhead Jawas running around on my shelf. And
Yeah,
they seem to pop up every time, and they seem to get more and more
dickish.
dickish.
I need
What do you
some.
have? I don't have anything against SH Figure Arts figures. I'm feeling more like SH Figure Arts figures have something against me.
Star Wars has been I mean, I think I'm pretty much down to just Star Wars and an occasional other one. I used to collect a lot more imports than I used to, but with so many things catching up to what's good enough for me,
I know, and
all
for
in
the
all,
price, I've dropped the Marvel stuff for the most part because I'm
I
pretty
never
happy with
collected the
Legends.
Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it may come out later, and it may be a little bit more accurate, I guess, because they're not. Well, even then, it's not so accurate. That Spider-Man coming out, it still has the red on the gauntlets and some kind of chest effect that was probably from concept art.
Mhm.
But Marvel stuff, I'm happy with Legends. Star Wars stuff, I get to supplement my Black Series collection. But even then, their armored characters are like soft, kind of cartoonish. The
It
colors, I, I don't
it it
know.
it it's funny to me. It's funny to me that a company like Bandai and a line like Figure Arts seems to struggle the most on the armored characters for Star
Yeah,
Wars, but they absolutely do. It's so weird. It should to me, it would be the opposite. If like I had to like put all my money on it, not knowing what it would be like, I would have gone exactly the opposite of where they would struggle.
right. But even then, because I think at one point it was, oh, I go with Bandai for my human characters for sure.
Yeah.
Black Series for aliens and other non-primary characters, and then model kits for my armored
Mm,
characters. And then it's kind of shifted
yeah.
to Black Series does pretty good with their photo reel, even though it's shiny a lot of times anymore. Dull coat done.
Yeah.
And SH Figure Arts kind of just has trailed off. After Dooku, it just kind of seemed to.
It's weird. It's
Now the
weird
Emperor's
because
cool.
well, and it's strange because I was like, well, maybe it wasn't doing numbers or whatever for him, but the last round of stuff that they put up after so long, that was another instant sellout everywhere. I had to get you to help me out with, I don't even remember what it was now, but I just remember it selling out instantly in the middle of the night again. So it's like,
Oh, was that Mando and Boba Fett?
yeah, I think so.
Because I just got. Here's how the world is going right now. The figure arts got pushed.
Hmm,
Those were, I think Boba Fett was this month, and it's March now.
really?
Yeah, I got notices for push on those or day before yesterday, somewhere in there.
Well, and I'm trying to be better about keeping back up with the imports because like an idiot, I slept on that stupid ass brown. Uh, yeah, that one.
I'm still
So
hunting. I'm still looking for you.
I keep looking too, and I appreciate it. It's just that, oh man, I wish that that would not have happened because I want that.
Yeah, on for Boba Fett, I stayed up. Oh no, I was I was refreshing at the time, at the drop time, and I think I missed it on Ami and HLJ. I don't remember what happened, so my backup to Nin Game, it was at a nice price, and then it jumped price, and it never came available for me anyway. I was watching the forums, and they were saying, "Oh, I grabbed it." I was like, "Oh no!" So I had to go Amazon Japan, which I think had a higher shipping rate, but. And then the next day, I think I grabbed a couple for you.
Yeah, because I missed it. I just like decided, oh, I'll catch it in the morning because I was so tired of getting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to order that stuff. But yeah.
I need a Psylocke Gambit, and I slept on Yellow Blue Wolverine. Yellow and blue's cool, but now that I have this with the different claws and it feels a bit more natural for some reason.
Now, for like the actual X-Men teams, they're caught up now. There's nothing that's been put up yet that we haven't delivered on yet, right?
There's Jean, and was there somebody else? You talking about Moth X?
Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure I have Jean ordered. Okay. Yeah. When are they going to do Colossus? That's my question.
It almost seems. Well, I don't know. I can't remember the order Hasbro went, but it almost seems like they're avoiding different body types. They're going for the males, the females. Easy microphone, calm your ass down. And then hopefully they get into beasts, which makes me think Nightcrawler maybe soon.
That'd be cool.
That'd be sweet.
He's kind of outside their focus area, though.
Yeah, you're right. Well, they went with X Factor Cyclops. Well, they went with Jim Lee first, and there's another X-Men is the X Factor Cyclops. You're not down for that, though.
No. It was classic Cyclops.
Cockrum, some blue and gold, or some blue and yellow.
Yeah. Which, oh man, now that my X-Men arcade machine got here, I'm so glad that I put that shelf above them because that team looks that display is coming together now.
Oh, and Fuzzy, I forgot to point out earlier with your comment of Hasbro Pulse is just as much of a pain in the ass to go through your pre-orders. Digging through there doesn't tell you what it is, and then you try to back, and it goes back to the front page, I think, or first page of pre-orders or something.
I'll tell you, like con exclusives, that's pretty much what I use Pulse for now, and I pay the money for because ordering stuff through them is just it's late and it's usually a hassle.
But sometimes with the exclusives and stuff. But I like having the backup there because, of course, who knows when their Tiger Force? Did they put Tiger Force?
Maybe
Outback up, and then Python Patrol Bat. I think they did that. It's nice to have a backup just in case Target wants to target up the Target.
Yeah, stuff. That's true. That's true. But I was at Target. I mean, this was right after Christmas. I think we had to run in for something, and they had like 7 or 8 barbecues in there. I was shocked.
In fact, somebody reminded me last week that I got barbecue and never opened it.
Oh,
and I don't know why. Maybe it was I don't remember what happened, but I gotta open this sometime.
It's not barbecue season right now.
That's right.
Well, I mean, where I live, always barbecue season. But
did you order the VHS X-Men stuff?
I have it on order right now too, and whether or not I keep it or cancel it is if I can, because it's lovely, is if I can carve out a space that I can have that kind of on its own collection, you know. Because
you like the cartoon, right? The animated series.
It's fine.
I know. I'm trying to get a rise because trying to get you to admit how terrible it really is.
I've gone back and watched some episodes of it since it's on Disney Plus, and I definitely I can definitely watch it better than I could when I tried to give it a go when it was originally on.
Would you say Evolution's better?
I think it's more, yeah, watchable. There are things about Evolution that like make me go like this, but there's very few things. I just think it's handled a little bit better overall.
I think I need to go back and watch Wolverine and the X-Men because did those figures come out around the time before? I always like that Wolverine costume. I don't know why I like the orange and black kind of look. Because it's different, maybe. I like when they change things up a little bit. To me, what little I've seen of the animated series from the 90s, I know they changed some things. There's morph and everything. But at the time, I remember thinking, well, I was right out of high school, so I was in that mindset of, oh, it's not as good as what I read in the comics back in the, there was that brief period of that. But at the same time, it followed closely to the comics, right? Just changed up roster here and there. Am I talking out of my ass? I'm sure I am.
It was limited, and there wasn't enough Colossus in it.
Not enough Colossus. He came later, right?
Yeah.
As a bad guy?
Yeah. But the roster, yeah, they played with it for sure. And the ages of characters, because I mean, you're talking about Evolution, right?
No, the original animated series.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Colossus did come later in that one too. Yeah, it's mixed up. I don't know. With the exception of like Beast, it just didn't have my favorites on it, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I certainly don't begrudge people for loving it because I think it captured that time.
And I don't either.
Well,
I don't either. It's just I was never. I think I was in the Lee run until about issue 10. But like I said, I graduating. It was high. I was having to actually real.
What year was that?
I don't that I graduated.
No, what
or X-Men.
Well, I think I was like definitely Ninja Turtle in it at that point.
Yeah,
like almost exclusively. So
Pride.
Yeah, we got teased. We got teased with Australian Wolverine and Kitty Pryde just before that cartoon too. So,
but then Kitty wasn't part of Jim Lee, right?
Mm-mm.
That I remember.
Nope.
Everything's running together at this point. I was like, was she still in Excalibur, or was that way after? Had they already come back from the Outback?
Yeah,
because that was the reason for Excalibur, right? Because they thought the X-Men had died, and they were actually zapped to the Outback, and
But yeah, no Kitty, no Nightcrawler, very little Colossus. It was like those are my Beast is, one of my favorite X persons, and I was even more so than I am now. I was an ardent Gambit disliker at that time. So.
That art style was in my wheelhouse. I feel like the 90s Spider-Man cartoon was way more memorable. I didn't watch that either.
I like the 90s Spider-Man cartoon a lot.
Like I said, there for a couple of years, I was out of everything. And I think that's when, like, Batman cartoon and the Spider-Man cartoon and the X-Men cartoon. And
and you're calling it out. I mean, I watched Batman the animated series religiously, and so if you're going to get snooty about things, then it was really hard to compare anything to Batman the animated series, because I don't care who you are and how old you are, that cartoon is just well done.
Seems like that's probably another. One day I will sit down and watch all these cartoons I missed right in between. That's influencing a lot of stuff.
You got to go back and hit X-Men before the new one starts, right? I mean, that's what's going to make me go and do that.
Why would I watch the new one?
That's a good question.
My Marvel cartoon was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Oh, maybe that's the Hulk.
Firestar. Yeah. But I did like the 90s Spider-Man show too.
I've heard good things. I've seen good things.
Yeah. I think it treats most of the characters and the storylines and what, I mean, some of it got weird, but it was the 90s.
Right.
But just things were handled pretty well with that, I think. But like I said, none of them were as good as Batman. So
I think the most I saw of the Batman series and what was Mask of the Phantasm? Was that at the theaters? Because I spent a lot of time at movie theaters. It's Arkansas. I had nothing else to do.
Yeah, I remember. What was the big thing about that? The toy spoiled the movie because the toy was out first.
Did the toy unmask?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just saw something on a toy hunt. Was it was it Ethan Page's toy hunts? They were talking about the Dick Tracy figure that spoiled
That's why I don't own it.
And they pulled it and then never put it back out or something?
Yeah. And it was became exclusive to like Sears in Canada or something like that.
Really?
And now it's thousands and thousands of dollars, which if somebody handed me, $5,000 and said, you can spend this, but it has to be on a toy, it would be that figure.
The blank. Are you complete other than that?
Oh yeah. That line is cheap and easy to put together except for that figure. Yeah.
And now they need to.
I love that movie. I love the character designs. I love everything about it, except that I don't own that one figure.
The blank. And he showed it that you could even see in the side of the package, see the blonde hair sticking out the back and stuff.
Yeah. And that was the thing until it's like I knew that the blank figure existed, but until I guess semi recently, I had no idea that the mask came off of the figure.
Right.
When so
oh, so he found another one today. I'll have to go back and watch because the one that I saw was carded. And they were just looking at the side.
Yeah, I'd like to have one of those.
Spoilers. I don't think we've actually said who the blank was, right?
You what?
Oh yeah. The one in it was 3,000.
And I'd still have a couple thousand to play with.
Oh, I did see that video earlier. He goes to his childhood toy spot or something. Oh, appreciate it, King Pope.
No.
King Pope Caesar. Damn, he's covering all the bases.
I like it.
Mask of the Phantasm. I remember nothing of that movie. I just remember I remember exactly what theater I went to watch it. I remember the poster. I remember seeing it on the sign out by the street. I don't remember the movie.
And you never watched you haven't gotten into the cartoon? Oh man, you've got to do that.
I'd probably seen clips or it was on somewhere at the time, just like I've probably seen a few clips of X-Men the animated series, but
it's the
Superman, Justice League,
it all just
yeah.
And I mean, I know Superman doesn't get as much love, but I think it's just as good. And Justice League really just turned into Bruce Timm putting his character designs on an overhead projector and people, clapping for it. But they handled almost all the characters really well with it. I don't think it's as good as, Batman, but they're all great. I mean, they're all great.
Because I think when I got back into stuff, with Star Wars back to theaters, and then I started doing the 3 1/4 inch, I remember when hunting those, I'd run into the Justice League stuff and think, oh, well, that's kind of cool design. With all this upper body and little bitty feet. Just, and my thought was, how the hell do those things stand up?
And they did not.
Did they not?
Well, if the legs were made from the right plastic, they would. Later in the line and for certain runs, they were not made of the right plastic, and it was just like. But that was a line that I never really collected. It's like I've got Booster Gold, and they eventually made Blue Beetle as well, so I have those two, and I think maybe I had Miracle and Barda.
Yeah,
maybe that was it. Yeah, I don't know.
Did they make Barda the right size?
Nah,
no, she's always short. I am a clips kind of guy. If it runs across my YouTube home screen page, then I'll probably give it a watch. I'm currently watching slivers of Game of Thrones.
You haven't watched that?
Yeah, I've watched that.
Oh, yeah, I knew you did. Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's running across my YouTube, and I think, oh, well, maybe I'll just watch this, Tyrion monologue or something. I've got HBO in there. I could go back and watch it, but I don't have that kind of time.
But there is something to be said with watching a good 10-minute clip smash up of Tywin Lannister speeches.
Yeah. Oh, Andrew, well, appreciate it. Now that it's been a month, who are you guys most excited for from future No Way Home waves? Can we talk spoiler? Is everybody cool? I mean,
I'll say this. I hope everybody gets everyone from that movie that they want. But
that's very all-encompassing.
Well, my thing is that I'm not, with the rare exception, I don't collect MCU figures anymore.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Did you like the movie?
I did.
Yeah, cool.
I did. And it makes me want them to give... Are we talking spoilers here? Because I don't want to...
Everybody seems to be pretty cool about it. I mean, I'm out to see you tomorrow. Sorry, Rufus.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going to get really detail oriented or anything. It's just kind of all,
even though I didn't like any of the villains or really, I want to see Garfield get another chance.
Yeah. And you know what? I remember watching the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and I was probably like, well, it takes a lot for me to hate a movie or show or anything, They got to really just... And I remember thinking, oh, well, that was cool. I'm glad I watched it, but I've never went back a lot. But now that I've seen No Way Home, it hits completely different for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've went back and watched some scenes, and it's really more... You feel it a lot more, I guess. So I'm one of those guys that was like, don't care, but now I care.
Well, and I'm not taking away characters or performances or movies from any of the Spider-Man flicks, but I mean, Defoe really had it first. Man, he really... that was a tough ball to take away and run with. He was awesome.
And I do want a figure of that new look. The helmet gone. It worked.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have, but
yeah. And I agree. Garfield was a victim of some bad writing. He's a great Spider-Man, though.
That, now seeing him, how he feels about it and talks about it and everything, it's like, oh man, he really wanted to be a good Spider-Man.
Well, and what I'm hoping that they're doing with this is that what that movie does is what I hope from a business standpoint is allow both companies to take the cuffs off. It's like, if Sony wants to go do their Spider-Man thing with Garfield or whatever, let them go and do it. Let MCU hold on to Holland. There is enough. I believe this. There is enough room in the cinematic experience for all of it from both companies. For Spider-Man.
Yeah. So you're wanting to MCU. I can see that, but I don't know. not having any kind of, I don't follow entertainment news or any of that. I don't know what the actors or the companies or leaks or any of that, but I don't know. You look at it from Sony's perspective, your movie just made $1 billion. It's like, it'd be hard to let go of that, Tom Holland. But at the same time, it made $1 billion because of everything else involved too. So
Yeah.
I would like to see, go back to Andrew, but it'd be hard to work around the events because the spell that affects the timelines they're going back to also.
Yeah.
Kind of resets all the Peters.
Well, I'll tell
you know what I mean?
Man, Toby can do it.
Huh.
They got that boy in shape and going for that. He can do it.
Which is weird because they're sending, would they go back to their own place in time? I guess they would, as redeemed villains, but then forgetting how, I guess they would remember Spider-Man helping them, right?
I don't know.
But don't know who Spider-Man is.
I'm not like guessing on anything, because the way that the movie started is like you could have made him forget Mysterio and not Spider-Man, and boom, problem solved. So I'm not.
Yeah. I've seen those too. It's like, hey, or Jonah, make Jonah disappear, or something,
Yeah. But it was definitely not. I'll say this: I was not. I was expecting characters to show up in that movie, but the overall plot and the way that they handled it, I was not expecting that at all. And it was well done for what they set out to do, for sure.
I don't think so, because none of the characters coming through the rifts knew Tom. They just knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man, no matter who or what their Peter Parker and Spider-Mans look like, So I think the spell erased it across the multiverse through the rifts, depending, no matter the actor, you know what I mean, or that dimension's version of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. It in order for it to work, it had to wipe everybody everywhere.
I gotta go get a physics degree.
because none of them, I mean, it's just like when at the first with Octopus, he was like, wait, you're not Peter. So but he still came through because he knew the simple fact that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Ooh,
I know. It's very specific the way they went, but very open to interpretation, I think.
Yeah, and that's why that's why it was one of those movies that it was like, I'm just gonna I keep it for the experience that I had, because I really enjoyed watching it, and I'm not going to really be thinking about it much at all in terms of the larger implications right now, because it just seems like an exercise, and I don't want to say an exercise in futility, because it's always fun to think about and discuss those things, but it's like it could go any which way or however, and I'm not going to be able to nail down what it is.
And I think, and that opens up so much stuff for not only for Spider-Man, but everybody.
Yeah.
I think I saw somebody typing the other day. I didn't physically see them typing, but I saw the words that they put upon the internet. It'd be cool in Doctor Strange that like a portal opens and Evans walks through and then says flame on and flies off. It could go anywhere. It could do anything. They can bring back anybody, which kind of falls into the trap, the comic book thing of death doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
We'll just bring in a different one or bring them back to life, or wish, spell, technology, something. But at the same time, it opens up a lot of storylines, a lot of possibilities.
And I do want to say this, even though he unfortunately didn't have a lot of screen time, my hat goes off to Wong, because Wong was everybody. Like, Wong was me in that movie. He's like, you dumb motherfuckers, what are you doing again with all this shit?
quit cleaning up your. Yeah, he's just off to the side, like, no.
Wong
but
had
I can't
had
stop
enough
you.
of everybody.
Yeah, he's gonna end up. Well, we still don't know why he was running with Abomination. You know, has that been explained? Maybe he gets sick of everybody and is like, I'm just going to join the Thunderbolts. I'm going to be that team's magician.
Yeah, I mean, having it was funny because now that I'm thinking about it, it's like 3 Spider-Mans. I have 3 children, so like the line was able to be drawn easily. It's like, I've had enough of your shit. All right, I keep cleaning all this up.
That's it. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to get a pack of cigarettes.
Bread and milk. I may be back.
Oh
yeah, the first cut is supposed to be 3 hours. So even if they don't release that, you got to wait for the special director's cut special edition thing later to see probably the whole movie.
And how weird is it that we're handing off from Spider-Man to a Raimi directed Doctor Strange now?
Nick Cage walks through a portal. Let's ride.
As Ghost Rider and Superman.
Flames. Huh?
And then Superman Nick Cage Superman comes through.
No, that's a different universe.
But does it have to be?
Wong, yeah, he's even the boss.
Yeah.
And Strange is just kind of
that was
technicality.
That was cool too. I liked that. So yeah, Wong's my MVP right now. I think he's the only movie figure that I pre-ordered from that new Doctor Strange series was Wong.
I can't remember.
I almost got what's her name, but I didn't.
You know, with the craziness that's been happening for the past couple months with toy releases and what's been coming out and how much money's being spent on action figures, somebody asked a minute ago about Eternals, and I started thinking, I haven't picked up the Eternals yet, because you started talking about Doctor Strange, and with MCU stuff, I don't get excited about toys until I actually see the movie, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know Doctor Strange, I know the characters, but there's a hype. With Eternals, I haven't picked them up yet because I haven't seen them all in person, but I also haven't picked up the Armadillo wave.
I haven't. Mine hasn't shipped to me yet.
I didn't pre-order those anywhere thinking, and I have. I've seen most of the Armadillo wave at Walmart, and for some reason I haven't picked them up.
That wave got me for Armadillo, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, and my thing with the MCU stuff, it's not because I don't love the MCU, and it's not because I don't think the figures are awesome, because generally MCU figures are incredible. I just keep my Marvel figures mostly comic. That's the original source material for me. So
plus, as much in the insane amount of space that you have that you've almost completely filled up is without the MCU stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to get working on that middle shelf.
Oh.
You got to split the room in half. Put more lighting in.
But trust me, I've thought about it, and whether it's like standard shelf size like I have here or taller ones, kind of depends on, do I like put stuff on top of them? Oh no! Stop talking about that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a contractor out there.
No. No. And like I said, at the very least, it's not happening until my kids stop running around down here because they like playing down here.
There is some place space. The big beanbag.
That's over on the other side now with the movie theater stuff. But yeah. Yeah.
With the Spider-Man retros out now, who would you like to see from the classic villains never been made? I love Big Man and the Enforcers, or more Ditko design ones. I want the Wall. I don't go so much for the very super classic Spider-Man stuff. For me, my brother did Spider-Man. I was X-Men stuff. He was Avengers, Thor, and Spider-Man. So I read his comics, and my era of Spider-Man is Rocket Racer and Cardiac and Will-O-the-Wisp, and who are a few more from that?
They haven't announced Swarm yet, have they?
Or Swarm.
Swarm would be a good one.
From a design element, Swarm is so one and done. You know what I mean?
Mhm. What about Razorback?
Spot. Is
Spot.
Razorback a villain though? We need
Not
Razorback.
Really. Yeah.
I mean,
Villain.
Razorback's top of the list.
Yeah.
But
him and Chuckles are going to have their Razorback and Chuckles going to have their own team up series.
That's right. I got, like I said, I got to root for hometown boys because they are few and far between.
Yeah.
Sticks and Stone. That sounds familiar. Oh, the Rose. I think
Rose.
when he was fighting Kingpin. Rocket Racer, Big Wheel. Big Wheel. Two of you. Oh, see, Clone Saga. I think that was later. I didn't do a lot of clone stuff.
I mean, they've really. I know they're just now. This is a terrible. Well, I guess you said stuff that hasn't been done, because I know they're just now re-releasing another Hobgoblin, but I still want a classic Hobgoblin one because I love that design so much. I don't like the face on this one.
Yeah. Vermin's a good choice.
Yeah.
Ben Reilly is currently in the comics. I think I saw something, a cover with him and Miles. And were they both in new costumes, or was it Miles that had something updated?
Classic Jack-o'-lantern would be a good one. Yep, absolutely.
Ben Reilly and Kane would be awesome. Oh yeah, I love Kane from X-Force. Haha, I turned it.
Carrion, that's a good one too. Tarantula and his pointy shoes. Yeah.
Sin Eater is one of those that I love those costumes, mostly from the handbooks. The kind of simplistic, just change colors on a skin tight. Although I know Sin Eater had some stuff on top, but him and Blizzard and Eel, and where they just kind of all went to the same costume designer. All he did was change colors up and put some lines in it. I love those.
Beyonder. Hell yeah, I want the Beyonder.
Full classic Beyonder.
Yeah.
Disco gear and all.
Yeah. Is there an appetite for people for Madam Web?
For destruction? I've seen a lot of wish lists with Madam Web, but again, that's out of my scope. I don't really remember her. How about a classic Lizard?
Hell yeah. That's something that hasn't been done. I'll go with that right there. 100%.
How about Tarantula?
And his pointy shoes. Yeah.
Pointy shoes. I'd go for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to be able to be kind of reaching a little bit now for some villains, because they've really, for most of the classic ones, they've handled them quite well at this point. Like I said, Lizard needs to be redone, and there's some other quibbles here and there, but for the most part, they're pretty good.
I saw on was it New Rockstars where he was kind of making one of the silhouettes into where it looks. I think that's Madam Web coming through at the first and all that, because they were going through the Rift shadows, and it's definitely Craven. That was the one I noticed in the movie, and Rhino, and couple others, because they keep them vague on purpose, I'm sure.
Right.
But
yeah, I too much of my time and energy is spent on toy internet. It's like movie internet is like a whole other ball of wax.
the only I like going and watching breakdowns of
Mhm.
shows and stuff because I'll watch something and I don't know if it's as I'm getting older or something. I've got to watch something like 3 4 times before I get everything
Sure.
packed in. So I like watching something and then going to the breakdowns and seeing what I missed or what to watch for next time or something.
Well, and honestly though, you say that because you're older, but I do believe that in like movie storytelling and stuff like that, because of the internet and breakdowns and things like that, they make things so much more complex and layered and hidden and whatnot. Because there was a time it was like, oh, okay, you have to go and rent this movie. And you only watch it a couple of times. There's not time or the ability for somebody to really
Yeah.
meaningfully unpack all of that. But now it is. It's like a layer of storytelling that they let people do post facto because
Yeah,
there's the ability to do it.
that's true. Plus, a lot of the stuff that you miss doesn't take away from the story for the most part. It's stuff like, oh, this license plate is a reference to the comic that this character first appeared in, or the background, or I, yeah, it doesn't take away from the stories for me, but
Right.
I like, like when a Wookiee shows up and the internet goes, "This is so and so, and he appeared here and here,"
Yeah.
and
I didn't know that. I was just glad.
okay. Did you know who it was,
No.
did you look at it as, oh, that's a badass?
Yeah.
Okay,
But within 4 hours, I had more information on it than I ever thought that I ever would. So
right. You
and it's
missed
usually
all of
it's
it.
usually Matt K that I keep an eye on because if there's something that shows up and he's good with the EU
Mhm.
stuff and all the
He digs
comics
deep.
and everything else,
Ooh, we
it's
had our
like
first freeze in a while. Look at that.
he'll call it out.
Oh, that was me.
So did you miss my whole Matt
Uh,
K thing?
oh, missed your what?
Matt K?
No. You were talking about Matt K. Did we cut off? Because I went, oh, you froze. We haven't had that in a while, and it was me.
Ah,
It
no,
froze on
no,
this
no.
side.
Usually Matt's the first person that I see. Like if there's a character in an episode like that that is from something else, like a
Mhm.
comic or an EU piece or whatever, I catch him talking about it first, and then I'll go and look.
Right. Definitely go. I mean, I think with that character, it's not a lot to go look back on, but there's a bit. And
Well,
ooh,
it makes me like, wait, this is the type of shit that was going on in the Doctor Afra this thing. Okay, now I guess I need to go check that
or
out.
the Darth Vader series, or
Yeah,
yes, I've got a video man though. Where'd he go? Did you get a video man?
no,
Seems like I had one somewhere. Oh, Daniel, appreciate it. Veebs, you see the off with their heads fig that they're auctioning for charity today?
no, I have not seen that.
Yeah, we're we're just kind of skirting around it, trying to not be too spoilery.
I
Quinn
have
spoiled it
not.
for everybody.
Yeah, I have
Go
not
tell.
seen that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I love that thing just standing there. I got his. He did the wall too, didn't he?
Yeah, I
Where's
didn't.
the?
I don't know how I missed that. The
What
video
is it?
thing. But now I guess I need one in my life too.
Video man or the off with
Yeah,
their head?
video
Oh,
man.
it's a. Hold on a second. Yep, I have this one.
Oh, there's that. Okay, that that off with their heads thing is cool.
Actually, Jobin, I think, did they go back to the movie, or was it shown in the movie? It's very faint, or did they fix for what they've been showing lately? But when that happens and the helmet goes flying, you can see like a round shadow going in the other direction. They're kind of, saying, "Oh, the head came out before before Boba started." Oh, Dad,
Dead.
Dad, did,
Dead.
dead,
Dead.
you're
Dead.
dead,
Dead. Dead.
dead, dead, your head, you're dead. Robo Nears, yeah, I've fixed this one though. I
That's
just need
awesome.
to add a little color to it.
That's awesome. Because I've got
But
my
only
own
because it
amazing
arrived
friends
because of the
display.
post office.
I've got my own amazing friends display, and I need that for that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm gonna put that right there.
Vidya, man.
My dead clone daddy. That sounds like a rockabilly song. Video man from the first Unparalleled Christmas special. Yeah, it's awesome. Captain Diabetes. Vives, can you tell me a little bit about what you use for your shelves and brackets, please and thank you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just those most of the shelves are just those white enamel covered like closet shelves for the deeper ones and whatnot in various depths. I've got like some 12-inch ones and some 15-inch ones. Some of them for the thinner shelves, it's just like white baseboard, like that I've used. That's square baseboard for it, and the brackets are really just those L corner bracket in various sizes that you can buy. It's all, nothing was like bought as a system. It's just I put it all together just so that it would fit what I needed most. And you can buy those shelves and those brackets in different lengths and whatnot. So just depending on what you're trying to display, you should have the options for it. The way I looked at it was, instead of like putting like the slats on the walls where you could like have the adjustable shelves, like putting these on, it wasn't like adding more holes or anything like that, and I could do it exactly the way I wanted to. So I just did it that way.
I did the same way, but painted black. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not anything like fancy or creative, that's for sure.
I think the corner brackets are actually for the inside of drawers to fix those.
Something like that. Yeah.
Because I picked those up at Walmart. They come with the screws and everything.
I like I said, some of them I have, they're only like a couple of inches because I have some, shallow shelves. But then like for the turtles and whatnot, I think those are like 15-inch shelves, and I've got 12-inch versions of them. They're not cheap then, because each bracket starts running you like $15 or something, but they're strong enough that they hold everything.
Because you've got a lot of stuff on those shelves behind you.
Yeah, and it's why most of it, like the weight's pushed to the back of it, where the bracket's the strongest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you added the 3 pizza monsters. Is that 3 back there?
It is 3. My lovely wife was nice enough to order one on her own order because they had a limit of 2 on those, and she complained about getting email updates every single week about statuses of that, but they did all arrive. So yeah, they're cool. With all the stuff that's coming out, though, I don't know. I'm gonna run out of room back there, so I'm gonna have to be thinking.
Jobin, didn't he ask specifically for Boba as a son? It wasn't like accelerated aging or anything?
An unaltered clone.
An unaltered clone.
Mm-hmm.
For that specific reason, to raise as a son.
Yeah. He was bounty hunting's a lonely gig.
So I'm going to drag a child with me throughout
Yeah,
the universe
it's
with
lonely and dangerous.
with my guitar strum bombs. You have them mounted into the studs in the wall, or did you use anchors?
Studs for sure. Yep. And oh man, okay, this is where I'm going to get called out on being ridiculous. So when I moved into this house, the basement space was unfinished, and I'm glad it was so I could do it the way that I wanted to. And when I was having contractors come in to do the various things, the one that I ended up going with to do all the framing and the sheetrock and all of that, studs are standard 16 inches apart in walls. I had him do 12 inches apart
For specifically. Yeah.
So that's insane because it probably cost me like $2,000 more or something to have that done. It wasn't that much, but it was more. Because the walls on this side of the basement room, because I didn't do it on the other side because I knew that was going to be bar and movies. Yeah, they're 12 inches apart here for that reason.
for display.
Because I didn't want to not be able to put a shelf where I wanted it to be simply because the studs were too far apart.
Found Kingdom Blaster, such a sweet Transformer 2022. Little story. Right before Christmas, I found Fisto, the Masterverse Fisto at Walmart. Went to go buy it. It wasn't in the system. They took it. They called up the toy department, brought it up, scanned it, did whatever they needed to do, and it was in the system. I found Blaster a couple of weeks ago, and with Transformers, I don't pre-order. I don't order. If I see them in person, I pick them up. That's that collection. Especially if I'm not buying something else. Blaster at Walmart, went to the checkout, didn't scan, wasn't in the system. Lady came up and said, "It's not in the system." I was like, "Well, can you?" Nope. Yoink. Took it to the service desk, said I couldn't have it. It was like, it's not heartbreak. It's like, well, okay, I'll find Blaster some other time, I guess. But just
you had her Blaster, man.
Difference in the things. I was like, but there's others back there that are the same price from this same box.
She's walking off saying, "I told those guys to tell me when he got here so I could buy
it." It was me specifically. I know. Because with the Fisto, the girl I came up from the toy department. She was like, "Of course it's you." I'm like, well, dang it. I'm not the one that didn't scan it. This is their day jobs. Oh, and like I said, I'm not mad. It's just crazy how different things are, different times of days. And I think because they were unboxing them then, and I guess they scan them into the system as it goes.
Did they go live to do the unboxing?
I was taking video of them and everything. I was like, this is how Walmart treats their customers.
Now there's a niche that I don't think anybody's gone to yet. Is like on the store floor unboxing.
Hey, actually, no, I wouldn't do that. In fact, I remember back in the day, I'd open stuff in the parking lot, get out of Toys R Us and yeah, play. Now it's just, the seat, get home, hope to open it up at some point in the next week.
Well, like I said, I'm trying to be better about teasing stuff out a little bit more so I have more time because I got this beautifully. I love hot pink just as a color, but I got this Mutagen Man the other day, and usually, like, I get new Turtle Ultimate stuff. It's like I can't open that stuff fast enough, but I gotta wait a little bit.
Okay. Go ahead and pull the cover off that and let it charge for a couple minutes, because before we leave, I want you to turn the lights off and see what that and the Snake Eyes looks like.
Oh, okay.
if it'll work.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can like put this stuff down in like the most where it's going to get the most light for a little bit.
Parking lot figures that also changed when I started doing videos, and that's part of the video process is opening stuff. So That's why I stopped opening stuff in the parking lot.
I stopped doing that mostly because it was like, oh, do I need to get this home to take pictures of it in the package before I open
it? Oh, well, yeah.
But I find so few things actually at retail anymore that's kind of...
Here's a good one. Do you guys have an obscure DC character that you want to see done with modern standards of sculpt articulation? Mine's Killer Moth.
I have a bunch of them that I would like to see done in the classic style.
Okay. And you don't do McFarlane.
No.
And I'm very choosy. And you have your classics. Well, I don't know. Now I'm straying off the point because I was going to go into, do you want a DC line that's like Marvel Legends? Or are you happy with what you got up there and would like to continue?
If they did a DC line that was like Marvel Legends, when we're talking about quality and getting like iconic classic versions, enduring versions of characters, that would get me back into a DC line. Not this was one comic run of 5 issues and Todd's doing it because they've got buzzsaw blades and shit all over it. It's like, I don't care about that stuff. And it's fine. It's fine if that's who. There's lots of people who enjoy that, and that's perfectly fine. But DC, even more than Marvel, to me is all about that classic iconography. So that's what I go for. DC. DC. I'm one of those guys that's like, DC should look like Jose Luis Garcia Lopez style guide forever.
Right. Ooh, somebody knows what I like. Kite Man. You didn't name anybody, though.
I'm trying to...
How about a Mofex Blue and Gold 2-pack JLI designs? Would you buy that?
I would buy 10 of that.
I know. Did you... Because I think I brought this up in a weekly here recently about McFarlane, distributing canceled DC collectibles lines or stuff they didn't, or their statues. You didn't do a lot of icons, did you?
I have Harley because she took the place of the DC Classics Harley on my shelf because she was so much better.
You would have bought the ever living hell out of that Blue and Gold 2-pack, right?
That, the Etrigan, there were several of them that, even though they were small, especially Blue and Gold, I would have been selective to have like kind of an own offshoot display, not to replace the classic stuff, but yeah,
those were some good looking figures.
Yeah, the scale was weird. I don't know why they did it that way.
Well, they were kind of easing up a little bit.
And that was the hope, right? That by the time Blue and Gold hit, they were going to fit right in with other DC stuff that I had, or at least Marvel stuff.
Because I got the later Batman and Superman that came in that 5-pack. I think somebody put it on way deep clearance, and I picked it up, and they're nice.
Yeah, like I said, I think Harley is the only one. I'd have to go back and look and think about it, but I think Harley's the only one that I got just because she was shorter, which was good for me, and just so much. The sculpt was so much nicer.
Harley show made me like a lot of characters. Catman, King Shark. Well, I already like King Shark, but that take on King Shark is hilarious.
Yeah, the movie King Shark. That's the only Todd DC figure that I own.
The way they went with a comic design for Bane, but gave him the Dark Knight Rises voice. It's amazing. I love it. Psycho Man was like, yeah, he was in there. I think a lot of people got Harley because that is just an excellent action figure.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's Todd handling it.
You would buy if he did in the style, in that articulation of Blue Beetle.
If Todd did a classic line that wasn't ginormous, because all of those figures, I get it. they're supposed to be that like 1/10 scale. They just seem so much bigger than that.
And they're almost getting bigger, because that last Batman I got was super tall compared to some of the others.
If he did a classic line, which he won't, in a scale that I'm into, I would definitely not rule it out. That's for sure. But I mean, Todd doing the things that he does now, the way that he does them, I have to kind of go to my default that it's like I have many Dark Side figures, and maybe he could do okay with Dark Side just as a standalone figure for me. I don't know.
Have you seen the new Clayface coming?
Yeah.
Tempting?
It was, but I got that. I like that Mattel Build-A-Figure one that I have.
I didn't get it. I think that's why I'm so interested in the McFarlane one. Well, besides it looking awesome, but I didn't want to buy the other characters in that Mattel way.
Well, and that's fair enough for sure. I just think that figure got overlooked a lot. I really like it though.
So. There is a consistency problem. I mean, I could get. In fact, when it first started, I was like, "Oh, well, I'm down for this. This Superman looks pretty cool." After I swapped the cape and did some fixes, but I do that with every line. I do that with all lines.
What the hell's up with all the black around the eyes on some of these figures too? Like,
well, I think the big thing now. Well, yeah, you talking about Bruce Wayne?
Bruce Wayne and Fezzik from Princess Bride, because I have all of those figures pre-ordered because I love the Princess Bride too much not to. But what is it?
Well, the side-eye thing is becoming an issue now, and for some people, not for some people. I understand it's a preference thing, but man, it's almost at that point. I feel like it restricts posability or posing options.
Well, and that says something too. I don't know what it is, if it's just not wanting to do that, or maybe there's something else at play because you think you can do better than it. But I kind of put Todd in the same space as like Diamond Select, where it's like it almost seems like a refusal to try to embrace like face printing and stuff like that. And it's like, you are gonna lose ground if you do not get on this. I mean, it already stands out a lot.
Well, I almost feel like it's well, his thoughts on articulation whenever was trying to get more and more, and I guess the sales of the Fortnite line made the company think. I always refer to Todd as making. Well, I'm sure he makes all the decisions. He was so against it. It's his art. He's going to give it to you how he sees it, and I think after backing off the articulation thing and letting all the figures have articulation, this is his way of, hey, looking to the left is cool. It gives it a little bit of flair, and I like it. Here it is on most of your figures.
But that kind of follows suit too, right? Because those figures, his figures to me, they have articulation. A lot of them have a lot of articulation now. They definitely feel like figures that have articulation that has been put on by someone who doesn't like articulation.
Well, I still feel like, and I don't know the process, but it feels very, here's the sculpt.
Post, yeah.
Put the articulation in. Yeah. And I know some companies do that, but some are better than others. And I think that may be where some of the scale issues come from, where they're putting the ball joints in the ankles, the hip mechanisms in, and it's making the legs longer. And who knows? It does point out Bruce has eye paint from. Plus, I think a lot of people are speculating that's his Matches Malone like persona. That new figure in the movie.
Well, it's not just that. There's nothing about that figure that appeals to me.
And I noticed, I think somebody said that, is it Wesley or sword fighting? He's got the eyes looking in opposite direction of the pose for like away, where you have to get. I mean, that works. Now that I think back to the movie, it works right and left-handed, but I don't know if it's set up that way.
I'm going to get those figures and they're going to piss me off. I just know it.
Seems like Lex, you kind of expect,
It's like it's like Scream face to like 11, right? It's like I oftentimes don't go unless it's a very specific character. I often don't go with Scream faces because it's so in the moment. But that
Mhm.
side eye thing is almost cranking that up even worse because that doesn't it doesn't it can hurt any expression, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because that Bruce Wayne is also supposed to be riding a motorcycle. The motorcycle comes separate, but they
Yeah.
keep posing him on it, but he's got side eye so far this way. It's
Eyes
like,
on the road, Bruce. Yeah. Well, and I don't know. This is just speculation too. Is it makes me wonder if like some of the articulation thing and stylistic choices are being put on him by DC too, because like you said, it's him operating out of his what you would normally come to expect. And I'm not saying somebody in a company can't grow,
Mhm.
obviously, but sometimes it's just like this feels like it was put in under duress, right? I
What
don't
did I
know.
just what did I just see? I get the scale thing. He wants to do and whenever where am I going to go with this? He wants to do his scale, right? He wants to make it bigger. And because if you make it compatible with another toy line, you're almost hurting your own sales, you know? Like if he made it 6 inch in the style of Mattel, what they did, people might pass on his stuff because they already have it or have something similar. So I get going up in scale, but
I'll
consistency is yeah, again.
I'll say something spicy because I
Oh no.
love DC, but Todd McFarlane making characters of DC as it exists right now is the most Todd DC thing. It's like the perfect combination of things that I don't like right now. I don't know. It's just me.
But that's the thing. You're more of a classic guy,
Yeah,
because I go to Target and stuff sells. I mean, stuff's
I'm
gone.
sure it does,
Yeah.
and there's a reason why they're doing this stuff. I'm sure, but it's just like I've got plenty of other things to
Oh,
keep me occupied that I'm not settling for DC stuff that I don't want.
I, I, it may be different area to area. Piling up at Target. That's what I miss about going to shows is I don't get a idea of. I mean, it's easy to go in my area at my stores. This is happening, and but it's not really a good idea of what's happening everywhere. So when I
It
was
makes
traveling, stopping at Walmart's, I got a better idea.
there are a lot of things that I have against splicing.
Mhm.
When like a million companies have the same license and do a million different things. This is one of those cases where I wish DC would chop it up a little bit more and give other companies a shot to do something in a scale or a style or an era that they're not pushing or Todd's not touching or whatever else. Just to see if something else can be done. I kind of not like collecting DC figures, and I haven't for years because this shit's just not for me.
Right. If McFarlane was 6 inch scale, I might have taken the chance a few of them. And I think that's a biggie for a lot of people. They like their stuff to go together, even though they may not even display it. It's just a preference.
Yeah.
But side eye, if it's something I really cared about, like some classic looks or something, I would repaint the eyes. I've done it in the past, to get something that I wanted, but
Well,
I don't display a lot of the 7 inch stuff.
but and here's the thing too. It's like if he's going to do that like 7-inch scale, if he can keep it right at that 7-inch scale, if he were to do like a quote unquote superpowers like tribute line or something at that scale, that would fit in with so much stuff that I currently collect, like ultimates, like cartoon stuff too, even.
Mhm.
Oh, I'd love that. I would
Right.
go crazy for something like that.
What did I see? Oh, the ratchet joints. I think that's not just a Todd problem. I've gotten some Black Series. I've gotten some Legends. I've gotten some. What else have I gotten? Where the feet don't want to line up in the right position to have a neutral stance. You have to kick forward or kick back or go between,
I
and then it
hate that.
snaps and knocks it forward. I don't know if that's a. I don't know if that's a not testing it out completely thing
It,
or.
it's just that's why, like, when I look at something, I always like to call out scheme versus engineering, right? Because it's that to me is an engineering failure.
Yeah, because I like the idea of it, but at the same time, you're locked. It restricts it a bit. You're locked in this position or this position, forward, back.
And the feet suffer the worst. You're right, because it's like you've either got to have the feet kind of curled up and the knees pushed back, or the opposite of that, right? Just to get them to kind of look like they're standing up straight.
Yeah, and then the knees have the detents too that may not line up with the ankle detents.
So then you got to go to the the floating hip or waist or the ab crunch to yeah. Yeah.
Oh, how the hell did Todd get me with a Batmobile monster truck though? Thank God for that GameStop pricing error when they first put it up. I mean, it's a character.
He's definitely doing stuff to me that, like, just the audacity of like doing it is impressive. It's just I don't know what that is.
It's just I don't know. That's one of my top toy company guy moments was when he revealed the Batmobile last year, because his face was just look at the size of this goddamn thing. Just, oh my God, I am producing this. This is amazing. And that right there sometimes gets me when when the company themselves is excited about their stuff. That and Dwight's, it's a thing in a puddle. I've got those two clips in a file on my computer right now that I go back to every now and then.
And it's funny, me personally, I can relate very closely to both of those.
For that Swamp Thing, I haven't seen that Swamp Thing in person yet.
It's huge, right?
It is huge.
I think
it's bigger.
A huge Swamp Thing.
I know. All rubber covered and stuff.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I kind of worry about that because people started bringing up the older Mattel Clayface too.
You know what? I still have that. Mine has not degraded at all.
That's what I was going to ask, because mine's been in a tub that I need to dig through and see. But we'll see.
It's still I'm fortunate that I don't get a lot of dust, but that's the first place that it'll show up is on that figure.
We talk about rubber degrading a lot too, but have you had
my Toy Biz trolls? Their faces haven't fallen apart either. So
we've seen examples of that, though. I guess it depends on area and climate and stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think any of them's been as bad as that Morbius back in the day.
Yeah, that one did melt, but I had that one in a bin, so
it was just so off the cuff. I just the face, the way he delivered it is just like it's a thing in a puddle.
That was endearingly Dwight.
Yeah,
that was great.
Fitz, how does mine was just laying somewhere and it just.
I mean, it always kind of looked like it was half melted anyway because of the sculpt on it.
Yeah,
but then it just went ahead and did it.
You don't get a lot of dust. How do you avoid dust? You're underground.
I'm underground. I'm in the basement, so my choice on that is that the basement's always going to be somewhat cold. So I don't have any ducts on this side of the basement. They're all on the other side, so that I don't get air that travels through like that either. So there's no windows. My basement is not walkout. So it's like controlled. Now, when it was first built, I had like a year of hating everything down here and myself because of construction dust. But
oh man, that was terrible. Oh, I felt bad more than a few times of walking in and walking back out and just trailing the dust.
It's like, oh, well, you know where you went.
Yeah. It was like a family circus. I walked out of there to the bathroom to the bed. And then back upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I think Kyle has room like that. Just everything all the way around.
Yeah, because the basement too on this side doesn't have any windows. They're over on the other side.
And even then, it's just like two not very big windows, huh?
Right. Which, when we were going to buy this house, the real estate agent, she was like, well, it's not finished, and I get it. It's not walkout, and there really aren't a whole lot of windows down here. I'm like, that's what I want.
But you,
And then she was like,
but you didn't let her know, huh?
yeah,
You're
it's
like,
like, oh, why is that?
oh no, you better knock some price off. Have you seen I've seen it, but I haven't saved the pictures or looked close yet, but it's just re-release, right?
Did he already do those? I don't remember.
The Dark Knight Returns armored Batman. I think the new 2-pack has a new head for Batman.
But they did
But I don't
Superman
remember
already
Superman.
too?
Superman? Has he done Superman? Everybody tell me.
I don't keep track.
So I can act like I know what I'm talking about next week. Which I don't.
Yeah, you don't know.
And there's stuff that I feel like would be right up McFarlane's alley that I would want. The older wacky stuff, But I'm just not into the new modern. Oh, well, this is what we were talking about before too. It's looking like no, huh?
Yeah, it's looking like a no, and that's mainly because for most of the reasons why we go are looking like a no. I mean, I know a lot of companies haven't confirmed that they are not going to be there, but it just feels like we're a few days away from announcements of that nature.
And if we go, we just see toilet toys and pool floaties.
That's usually reserved for the last day of the show when we walk around that area, because that's always a trip. But yeah.
Superman was the Build-A-Horse wave with Robin and Batman and
well, that makes sense.
Superman and Joker, I think.
Whole wave around it, yeah.
I forgot about that. We need Kenner back.
Oh crud! I'm gonna have to order a couple of wizards today. Today's the last day of the Oxus pre-order.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get at least a couple. I think I'm gonna get a couple of wizards.
Is Toy Fair a no because of weather or cold? Weather's never stopped it before.
Yeah.
Cold as hell.
Yeah, it's definitely COVID way.
When I think of weather, I think of you running with your hands in your pockets. And I went 90-year-old grandmother on you.
I'm gonna fall.
Don't run with your hands in your pockets. And this was the first year I could attend Toy Fair. Yeah. Oh man. I'm still a newbie when it comes to Toy Fair, but like I've told several people, it's a completely different experience, but I dig it.
I love Toy Fair. I really do. But that makes me think, even with Comic-Con, usually by this time we've already started to see the emails about confirmations and things like that. And I have not seen anything yet for any of that stuff.
Plus we're hearing more companies, that haven't actually announced but are going to.
Yeah.
Build-A-Horse okay, here's another thing to make you think things are locking up in places. McFarlane's pushing too. Figuarts, McFarlane, stuff you don't usually hear about getting delayed.
Yeah, it's probably going to end up being exactly the way that it was at the end of the year. It was like stuff wasn't out for weeks, and then everything shipped at the same time and got nailed with pre-order stuff all at the same time.
I miss Toy Fair magazine, which is actually what I thought you were talking about when you were talking about getting your wizards.
No, no, he's talking about the good wizards, not wizards.
Not wizard.
Ugh.
Oh, so what you thinking?
I'm thinking that. Oh,
Is it time to?
You want me to try to turn the lights out real quick?
Oh, apparently my internet's telling me it's time to go. But yeah, we're gonna see what the glow looks like.
Yeah, give me a minute because now I got to go turn off a million lights.
Oh, now you're acting like I'm putting you out. Oh my god. Yeah, I was just saying about getting out of here, and my internet went whoop. Just moved on to their own shows. I don't know. I think Dan commented on it the other day was I had heard, and this is all probably speculation word going around. I don't know for sure, but that they were kind of scaling back anyway, or thinking about it, or planning, or something. Who knows?
The light from the computer's killing it.
Oh, yeah. Can you see it? How's the glow?
The glow's great. I can see it when I step over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's bright. It's really bright, actually.
And that's the Muckman?
Mutagen Man, yeah.
Oh, Mutagen Man? See, yeah. That's why I don't. That's why I don't do Outside the Turtles. What's the red Snake Eyes look like? Does he glow pretty good?
Yeah, he does. I was gonna say I've got an old Glow Ghost figure from the 80s that it reminds me of quite a bit, but that's probably not helpful for you.
You said Glow Ghost, and you said back. I thought of the cereal toys off to your right. They still over there?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. But no, they're over there now. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of a reddish pinkish color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like in the cartoon.
Yeah.
What a fail.
Story of my life.
But we'll see pictures soon, huh?
Yeah, I'll take some pictures of that for sure, because that's easy for me to do. And yeah, I'm gonna get like I said, I'm gonna wait on this until I get some snow. But I'll probably have Muckman up soon.
Are you expecting snow?
Mutagen Man. You said Muckman, and now you've got.
I gotcha. See, that's why I don't collect past the main cast. I get into get into unknown territory.
Yeah. No, actually, it's supposed to be in the 50s this week, so I don't know. It may be a minute.
I can't. Well, whenever you texted me last week about having snow, I knew it was cold here. Oh, and then I was going to go. I said something like, "Well, I'll just go on and interact with chat, with chat back and forth and stuff." And then my water froze. I thought, oh well, maybe it is snowing somewhere if my water froze.
Yeah, it wasn't bad here, but I was stuck at the in-laws.
Yeah, I don't want to go driving across Kansas in 8 inches, huh?
No, that's a long, boring drive that I don't need to be made exciting that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those remote lights are
cool. Glow in the dark Muckman would be really cool, and that figure's so incredible that they really should do some type of variant for him.
What was the other thing? There was a Super 7 figure that we were expecting to release glow in the dark sooner than later.
I just got that Red Rage Toxie, which is awesome.
Is it awesome?
It glows in the dark, but also if you take him out in the sun, he turns red.
See, that's double whammy.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I need some Toxie friends now, though. Woo.
You think they're going to go there?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, Brian has said that they've got some friends, but I'm hoping that they'll be successful enough that we can at least finish out the vintage line, because the figures are just all cool.
Is Glow Muckman coming from NECA?
There have been some possible online auction leaks of some possible things, but I'm
I didn't mean to ask if it was, have we heard anything? I thought it had actually been announced whenever I saw it.
I've seen some pictures from
auctions,
the Twitters, maybe.
Yeah. Ooh, I need a fully articulated bigger scale Kenner Swamp Thing, because that makes my heart sing. And make it glow in the dark too, because that means everything. and that would make everything groovy.
Oh
yeah. So it's time to get out of here. Whenever I start quoting song lyrics or Swamp Thing. Yeah, okay, that was the actual.
We started with the freaking stoic as a mother trucker Spirit Iron Knife, and we're ending with Swamp Thing singing.
Swamp Thing, I think I love you.
Man, now I want to go watch Major League.
And that's the movie that makes me think, or that song makes me think of every time too. You mean take them out back, kick the shit out of them?
Yeah, but their manager Lou Brown is one of the most underrated movie characters ever. I love him.
I don't remember the Maze Hayes things. You may hit like shit.
He's that's the curmudgeonness that I want to grow into someday.
Is it run like Maze, but you hit like shit?
But you hit like shit. Now that's a good way to end with Major League.
That's right. Yeah, going out on a high note. Jobu needs a refill. Okay, yeah. I appreciate everybody coming out. We got off schedule again, which means we probably need to come back next week. Get back on schedule.
Cool with me. I'll be around.
Yeah. We'll talk about something else.
Yeah.
I don't know if there would be anything to talk about.
There's never anything to talk about around here.
Oh, good night to Germany.
Oh, yes. Good night to Germany. This damn pandemic, I was hoping to have visited your country in the past year, but that has been canceled. So.
Oh, is that in the plans?
Oh, yeah. Lacey and I were going to go to take this massive Europe trip that I don't know when now.
Someday.
Yeah.
But I'll be back tomorrow night. There's probably going to be some toy news to talk about for an hour or so. Kick on, kick off. This week is the Alley Viper and the Bat. And I think during this review, I was commenting on Storm Shadow's head having a dumbbell up at the top and saying that the Viper, or no, the Bat didn't have it. The Bat does have it. I was wrong.
112 day. 112 is this week too, so we'll have something to talk about probably with Mezco next week.
Oh, is that this week?
Well, the 12th is what, Wednesday, right?
Is that their usual right before Toy Fair show?
I think so.
And if Toy Fair isn't happening, and of course I don't think I've heard anything from Mezco, but if Toy Fair isn't happening for a lot of companies, we can expect a lot of online reveals and live streams, and
we may have to still do an in-person live thing a few times that weekend or something.
I'll have this week too. This Bumblebee. Hopefully. Something pops up. Yeah, it's an 80s style 3.0.
Well, that's cool.
But yeah. Oh, new pop-up. Oh, you want an olive oil?
Hell yeah. I want Wimpy first.
No, you want Wimpy first.
Yeah. Wimpy's, I love Wimpy, so. But I'll take them both.
Still don't have 89 Batman. Yeah, dang it. Maybe that's how they'll celebrate.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'm going to try to keep talking as I look for the icon over here to the side that I need to push to end the live stream.
Deuces.
We'll see you later. Get ready for some sad riding into the sunset music.